Now, you saw the title of this video and you probably thought clickbait. Now you've clicked on it and you thought, he's gone absolutely bonkers. What is he on about now? Well, don't act like you don't do it. Everybody does it. It's nothing to be ashamed of. Smells in bathrooms. So, when I was growing up, I didn't know about the techniques of dealing with bathroom smells other than those really horrible 1990s air fresheners that were gel-like. They're plastic and they were cone-shaped and they would come in scents like lilac, and you open them up and there's like a jelly on the inside. Those things always grossed me out. I remember having them at home. I remember seeing them at relatives' places. I never liked them. And it was only when I was a teenager and I visited a friend, an older friend, that I was introduced to the practice of lighting a match in a bathroom to eliminate unpleasant odors. And I started doing the same. Lighting a match in the bathroom, it's not absorbing the odor, it's actually creating another odor. When you light a match, sulfur dioxide is created, and your brain actually smells that over the unpleasant smell, because it's a kind of smell that your brain is saying, oh, I need to pay attention to that because it might be dangerous. It's fire. It's the thing that's produced when the match is ignited. So that's what's happening. It's disguising the unpleasant odor kind of by tricking your brain. And it works. It's very effective. So over the years, when I started living alone, when I'm out and about at a restaurant or even in a shop that sells sort of nice little things, I pick up matches and I bring them home. Here's a beautiful little matchbox from a cafe that I love here in New York. And I sort of keep these things and these little boxes of matches, and I'll put one out near the toilet, sometimes just on the back of the toilet. It was maybe 7 or 8 years ago that I discovered a wonderful thing when where was I? Was it Munich or France? Somewhere. I was looking around, little shop, and I found these. They are made in France, and they are Armenian Papers. Papier d'Arménie, Paris depuis 1885? Since 1885. So in 1885, a traveler, French traveler, was in Armenia, and he observed that the locals would burn aromatic benzoin resin to perfume and disinfect their houses. And he brought some of this back to France, and he worked with a pharmacist who dissolved it in alcohol and infused it into a slow-burning paper. And this was invented to perfume the air. I got these and I read the directions on the back or on the inside, and then I started using them, and I have been using them ever since. So the instructions for use: you tear off one strip, you fold it like an accordion and place it on its longest, thinnest side on a heat-resistant surface. Light it, blow it gently so that the paper does not burn up, and then the papier d'Arménie should burn slowly. And this says that a single strip is enough to perfume the whole house and remove unpleasant odors from cooking, tobacco, pets, etc. So I keep these in the bathroom, but when I light one, I usually open up the bathroom door, and it really does perfume the whole environment. And these Papier d'Arménie, they come in a little booklet like this, and these sort of pages. You tear out a page, and then these get torn into, they have perforations on them. That's one strip. So this is what you would light. And the smell is just so lovely. It's an old world smell. It smells slightly floral, but it has like, I don't know, it's like, I can't even describe. Florally, like vanilla. Ooh. Bit of frankincense in there. It smells ancient, and they're wonderful. So I started using these. I introduced friends to Papier d'Armenie, and then there was a little period of time a couple years ago where, this is not a joke, the factory that makes these burning papers burnt down. I should not be laughing, and they weren't available readily. So they are back in business. They're back up and running. These are available again, Papier d'Armenie. And so I was using these. These are this is entry level, getting rid of smells. This is a step up, like a big step up. My friends and I call these poo papers. That's how we refer to them now. Do you have the poo papers? Do you need more poo papers? When I'm flying to Toronto and I want to give Laura a gift, I ask her, do you need a restock of poo papers? And then when I was in Florence, this is so bougie. When I was in Florence, anyways, it is. So when I traveled to Florence and I visited the pharmacy that goes back to the 1200s, Santa Maria Novella, I should say it like the Italians, Santa Maria Novella, Farmacia, I saw that Santa Maria Novella had Carta d'Armenia. They had Armenian papers. These were much more expensive than these. I splurged because I had to try them out. And let me tell you that for the amount of papers that are in here and for the price of this little box, you are literally burning a dollar bill. That's what's happening. So what I do, these papers, these Santa Maria Novella papers are much thicker. They're on like a thicker cardstock. This is what they look like. Okay. Carta d'Armenia per profumo gli ambienti, brucia senza fiamma. So what I do is I tear one of these in half because these are very strong. These are much stronger than these. When I light this in the bathroom, I actually have to leave the bathroom because the scent is so strong. It perfumes the whole environment. I come back to the apartment like 3 hours later and I can still smell these. So you don't need to burn the whole thing. I tear them in half and will burn like that amount. Now, the last thing, so we have elementary, adolescent, graduated, and then the highest step that I can take this practice of burning something in the bathroom, even beyond these papers, are these. The problem is, I love these so much, I don't want to burn them. So my beautiful, lovely angel of a friend that lives in Munich, Beata, who was my neighbor when I lived there, Beata is just a saint. She just knows me like the back of her hand, and she's so pleasant to be with. I go and visit them like once a year. When I was with Beata in Munich a few years ago, she took me to this French store, this really fancy French store that sold papers and perfume. They didn't sell papers. They sold soaps and perfumes and lip balm and hand creams and combs and nail cutters. And then they had these Allumettes eau différentes scented matches. And they come in all different scents. Look at this. Look at this beautiful box. It's made of card. So it opens like this. And inside are these long wooden matches, which are scented. Oh my God. They just, they're so nice. You light this and you let the whole thing burn, like till it gets close to your fingers, and then shake it out or blow it and lay it down. And that burning of the match and blowing it out perfumes the air, similar to the papers. But this is just like, it's so wonderful to do this. So I have all of these in the bathroom, and I have a little setup in the bathroom. I have a shelf that's above the toilet, and this actually came from my friend Laura, because I had everything on the back of the toilet, and then when I visited Laura in Toronto, I saw how she set it up. We're kind of the same. We just copy each other. It's like a tennis ball that goes back and forth. She does something, then I do it. Then I do something, then she does it. So I just have her set up in my bathroom, a very shallow shelf above the toilet. And then there is a container that holds these things, some beautiful little container. And then the added element of the thing that you need if you're going to partake in burning these things is some kind of container or vessel or thing to put the burning paper or match onto. And very early on, I just used like a little ceramic dish. You can use, I've used this before. This is like a beautiful Celadon glazed blue and white Nepalese or Tibetan offering dish that I found at an antique place. So this is a perfect thing to use, just placed on the shelf, and then the thing burns off of this. You could use something metal, like beautiful, this is a lovely little silver, just a little tray. It doesn't need to be big. I also have, I think I left it in the kitchen. This was my grandmother's. Is it in here? Yes. My grandmother brought this to Toronto when she emigrated from Celadon. And my aunt had it, and my aunt gifted it to me. It's a beautiful, beautifully worked, intricate brass tray. It's like looks like a lily pad, or the edges are like remind me of the lotus. And look at the work on the inside. This has not been polished. I like the patina. This would be a nice thing in there. But the thing that Laura found ages ago in Toronto and has been using for a couple years is something that was made in Japan, ceramic. It's a pair of hands, and it's an ashtray. It's an ashtray. These are where you would place your cigarettes. But she lays this on the shelf, and there's something so beautiful about seeing the smoke come up from this pair of hands. Whenever I go there, I have coveted this thing. And then when I was with Laura in Toronto, and we were antiquing one day, we saw another pair of hands, and I had to get them. So now she and I have the same thing that we use for burning our poo papers. So that's the, you can find and curate this setup to make it really nice and pleasant. The wonderful thing about this is like what I love about something like this is that I'm taking something where the act or the result of the act is unpleasant. It's just, and kind of, when even talking about it is uncouth, it's just kind of gross. But to take that and to turn it into something, to kind of flip it around and make it something that's so pleasant and something that you can get excited about is really a wonderful thing. And if this intrigues you, I highly recommend setting up a little area in your bathroom. And again, you don't need to get the papers or the fancy scented matches. You can just go out and find cheap little matches, but set it up. Set it up nicely. You can put these in here like this, or they could go like this, so that even your guests know that, hey, there are matches here. I think that's the key thing. I have admittedly been in situations where I wished there were matches in the bathroom, and I'm frantically searching around looking for matches, and sometimes I find them. The person has put them in a drawer, but other times I have not, and I think you can't go rifling around someone's bathroom looking for matches. So make it easy for the guest. Set it up for them so that it's obvious. And then if you do want to go further, it is really nice to put these out. And because they have instructions on them, like your guests, if they're curious, they can look. So what I do is, if I'm having like a dinner party or something and there's going to be a lot of people around, I set out this book and the matches near this tray, and I actually don't know if people use them or not. I've never really paid that close attention to it, but I hope that this video, putting this video out, spreads the word. I think it is a wonderful practice. This lighting of something in the bathroom that creates smoke and a scent. It feels ritualistic, and to be able to couple a fact of life that is unavoidable but is also slightly unmentionable, to pair that with something so beautiful and old world is really, really nice. So let me know what you think if you try it out.